Hello and greetings from Bengaluru. Our guest today is one of the youngest that we've had on Ask Housing. Ashish.R.Puravankara, MD, Puravankara Limited, is also one of the youngest presidents of Credai Bangalore. He's a second-generation entrepreneur who was exposed to the real estate sector at a fairly young age. It's his passion for excellence and innovation that has made him one of the more sought-after and recognized names in the industry today. Ashish, great to have you on the show.
Thanks.
I'm Shumul Ghosh, I'm the editor-in-chief of Housing.com News, and we'll be talking to Ashish as to how have the southern cities managed to show such stable growth metrics despite an obvious market slowdown. Ashish, I want to start off with the festive season. There were a lot of hopes riding on it. We've all been observing the festive season. How has festive season 2017 been for the southern market?
From our experience, we believe that the festive season for the good brands, brands that are focused on execution, has been good. We had a property exhibition that we did during the festive season, and in fact, we sold very well. So the sentiment here seems to be positive. I think the couple of reasons for that is that even today, the cost of housing in southern cities, especially Bangalore, have been quite affordable. It's the sentiment which plays spoil sport at times, which may make people advance or postpone their buying decisions. But having said that, I think with the festive euphoria around, quality products, good locations at the right prices did sell very well.
I'm also curious to know about RERA. How have the markets here been responding, both the developers as well as the home buyers? What's the overall sentiment about RERA?
So the true effect of RERA, I believe, will be over the next 1 or 2 quarters. But net, for new projects, I think the sentiment is quite positive. There may be some issues in terms of the current ongoing projects where they will be approaching authorities for some sort of resolutions where there are delays. And the authority also right now, it's fairly new. So they are getting their arms around it. But net, I think it will benefit the customer. It will put in a lot more discipline in the developer space. But going forward, I strongly believe it's a very good tool. There will be a lot more transparency. Buyers will be able to take a more informed decision. They're very clear of what is being offered. They're confident that what is being offered will be delivered end of the day. But this will matter more to maybe the category 2, category 3 developers, because if you see, especially again, I keep referring to the south, the category A developers, they do deliver on what they commit on. So that gap was not there. The one single issue, if I have to put my finger on it, was delays. Right? Again, so no project that I know from a category A developer which has stalled or which has sort of not been completed.
And
or which
delays,
has not,
to be fair, it's not just the developer's fault, it's the entire ecosystem, and there are so many factors not in your control.
So having said that, I think the delays with the grade A developers, it will address. One way of doing that is, they'll probably add a little more buffer in terms of the times that they commit, timeline that they commit to the customer. But it's good discipline on our side, and I think definitely the customer will benefit from it.
So I think you've sort of preempted one of my questions. So this is something I've been observing for, I've been a real estate journalist for a very long time now, and I've been observing it, like you said, with the grade A developers in this part of the country, where transparency, customer centricity, these seem to have been business mottos much before RERA made it mandatory. Why do you think that is? Is it a cultural thing? How do you think it has sort of happened? I'm sort of curious to know.
I would like to give the credit back to the customer. So if you see way back, the inflow of MNCs in Bangalore started way back in 1983. I think it's with Texas Instruments, right? So I think that the customer is well traveled. He's more demanding, and developers over time have just sort of evolved in a way where they understand that this is a person who travels a lot. This is a person who understands the latest trends, and we have adapted ourselves to that. Also, this is an IT hub.
Yeah.
So everyone's on email, everyone's on WhatsApp. Some mistake that you do travels very fast.
Yeah.
So that's also kept a lot of developers in check.
Yeah. So you've touched upon some of the points, but we keep on reading a lot of market analysis reports, and the southern cities sort of seem to be emerging as the star performers of late, where they've shown very stable growth metrics, both in commercial as well as residential. And it is, because for a long time, it was just Mumbai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai, Delhi NCR, and now, these cities are sort of taking center stage. What do you think is the reason why, even in a market slowdown, and this is the slowdown has a stronghold, how do you think they're managing to sort of register this kind of growth, quarter on quarter?
So, again, when you talk of the other cities, Bangalore consistently, I would say over the last 15-20 years, has grown, has had a stable growth in terms of job creation. Job creation has a direct correlation in terms of demand for housing, right? So that's happened. Also, I've said this so many times, Bangalore is one of the few cities in the world where the population has doubled in a decade. There are not too many cities. And this has happened on account of jobs, white-collar jobs, mostly that have been created here, right? So the job creation and the absorption of software, office space, IT, etc. has been stable, which has resulted in a stable demand for housing. The housing pricing has not escalated unrealistically. So that's also been in check. So if you go back 3 years, what was the average cost of housing in Bangalore? Go back 5 years. It was about 4,000, 4,500 rupees. What is it today? It's 5,500 rupees. So unlike other cities in the ones that you refer to, the west of India or the north of India, where prices over 5 years have doubled.
And there were more speculative forces at play rather than the end user.
Right? So prices have doubled. Now when prices double, you get a lot of investors who feel it will double from there and they get into the transaction, right? But here it was more end user play. The appreciation or the increase in prices was more realistic, more in line with the salary increases, therefore affordable, and therefore the demand has been stable in these cities.
So tell me, in residential, which are the segments that have obviously, sort of been fueling this growth and has really done well? You mentioned affordable, so would you say that affordable within the segments has been like the star performer?
I would say that affordable housing definitely has done better than luxury housing. Now there are even in luxury, I think there are two categories, right? So in Bangalore, so you have luxury housing, which is on the outskirts of the city, not outskirts, where certain micro markets where you have a lot of IT development that's happening. So those are also luxury housing. Then you have the very high end in terms of large sizes, villas, etc. So the affordable housing has done exceptionally well. The luxury housing, the apartment projects have done well. There has been, I understand, a slowdown. We do not have a lot of product in that space, but a slowdown in the very high-end luxury housing. Anything north of 2.5 crores ticket size. But in terms of anything between the 60 lakhs to about 1.5 crores, has been stable or has been also incrementally been increasing in terms of demand and in terms of sale.
So like you said, some part of that credit obviously is to go to the developers who are pricing their inventory in a more realistic and affordable, in a relative sense, affordable to what people, the money that people are making. Now, your company is obviously present in so many cities. Could you tell me some of the micro locations, that are doing well? If I'm an investor and I want to come into this market, which are the micro locations that I should be keeping watch of?
So in Bangalore, we particularly like the north. When I say north, I refer to Hennur Road. I refer to Thanisandra Main Road. We like that location. Then Outer Ring Road, that is Sarjapur Road. We like that micro market. Again, you would notice that all these micro markets where you have steady job creation. And that's why. So there is commercial activity that's happening there. There is a good social infrastructure that's created in terms of schools, in terms of hospitals and offices. So, it's just only logical that you would see a stable demand for housing in these micro markets. Whitefield also is doing well. It does have challenges in terms of infrastructure. I think Magdi Road, again, I think that's East Bangalore. That's seeing very strong demand right now. Again, that's again because of infrastructure, positive demand. So Whitefield, there is some sort of need that people working there because the infrastructure is not kept up. But on the other hand, on Magdi Road with the metro that's coming around, I think that market has picked up. So these are areas that we focus on. These micro markets are that we focus on.
So tell me, as a company, when you decide to sort of launch a project in a location, so are these the things that you're keeping track? So I mean, can you give me like a few examples that maybe you've been able to assess that I think this location is going to go this way, and it has been jackpot for you?
So we have the credit of being the first movers in various locations. So we did our first project on Banarghatta Road, if I'm not mistaken, around 2002, 2003. And there were hardly 3 or 4 residential projects on that street. But we noticed that early. And again, why? Because at that point, I think the water table, etc., was good. We realized that there were few IT companies that had come up there. The connectivity and the closeness to Jayanagar, which is a residential hub, right? So the logical expansion would have happened onto Banarghatta Road. Today, I think you can drive down 10 kilometers on Banarghatta Road and you won't find a single vacant property, at least on the main road. So we noticed that first. Go back to Sarjapur Road. There's a micro market there called HSR Layout. Right? It was just plotted developments and houses. Pura Fairmont was the first residential project that was built there, right? And after that, you had all the other developers sort of come in. So yes, we have our own criteria in terms of following infrastructure, following the job creation that's happening. We ensure that these micro markets have some basic social, so some retail maybe, some school, some hospital. So those are the ingredients for a successful residential project. Connectivity and public transport also is very important. A good example also is the Provident project that we launched on Dodbalapur Road, right? This was launched in December of 2009. It's about, I think, 15 odd kilometers away from the city. You had to at least drive 20 minutes to get to the closest hospital. But having said that, the quality and the product that we offered, the price point, and the amenities that we offered, and the public transport. So people appreciated the fact that there was public transport there even today, right? And I think that was one of the reasons we were very successful. Fairly large project. It was about 3,300 odd apartments. Launched in December of 2009, where the sentiments were at one of the lowest points in terms of prospective buyer sentiment, and we sold really well.
So with all this talk of micro locations, I have to ask, so we read reports, about infrastructure issues and the concerns that are being raised. Now, since you are again present in a lot of cities, what are your thoughts? Is infrastructure enabling the real estate growth? What are your thoughts on infrastructure in these cities, especially Bengaluru?
So Bangalore, I mean, like I said earlier, is one of the few cities where the population is just exploded. The way our systems work, land acquisition, even for the government, right? Today, anyone can go and put a PIL and stop the government from acquiring land, and then it has to go through its normal process of court, etc. So those challenges are there with the government. Infrastructure is moving along, albeit at a much slower pace than we would like it. But we do understand that there are challenges. So the only hope and the constant liaising that we do with the government is, to see where we can assist as a body, CRIDAI as a body, where we can assist and help. So one of the few things, like for example, today most projects beyond a certain size, today it's a requirement, but I'll go back to 2005, where even it was not a requirement. A lot of things like STPs were all done, garbage recycling. While it was a suggestion but not a requirement, most developers, I think, here in the south are more conscious.
And you're telling me that you also have buyers who understand the worth of that and they appreciate that you are offering these amenities.
Absolutely. So that way, a lot of things that could have been built inside the projects, which would not put a stress on the existing stressed public infrastructure, were done in-house. Right? Now, that only leaves you with transportation and roads, where I don't think a private player has much to do. Today, of course, they have a lot of PPP models that they are rolling out, and wherever we can assist, so at least outside our specific projects where we can better the infrastructure, we're pitching in.
So my last question to you, Ashish, would be, we're obviously the fag end of the year. What do you think the next few quarters, what are your hope in terms of, how these cities will perform, both in commercial as well as real estate? You see them maintaining their growth momentum? What's your assessment?
The southern cities definitely should maintain their growth. I don't see any big change there. Hyderabad should see some improvement further because we've just coming out of a slowdown, so there's been a lot of pent-up demand. We've done very well in our Hyderabad residential project. I think Pune is doing very well for us. Bangalore should be stable.
Yeah. So future looks good for at least the markets you are in.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that's all that we have time for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you soon again. Thank you and bye-bye.